Kelsey Mitchell said something that pissed off a lot of people.
Kelsey Plum at the All-Star game. Well, what if I was to tell you she's speaking about it in a new interview?
That Kelsey Plum made about Caitlin Clark at the All-Star game over the pay us what you owe us shirts and them all wearing the shirts. Remember, Team Clark didn't bother to show up.
You want to talk about the Team Clark comment and all that? Oh, I made a bad joke. Yeah, I made a really bad joke.
Where does this competitive piece come from? We've already got 14. Oh, no, I'm just playing hard. We want to blow them out. We're a lot better than them. I hate to say it.
Breaking news out of the WNBA.
That Kelsey Plum made about Caitlin Clark at the All-Star game over the pay us what you owe us shirt.
New information from the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark team did not go to this little meeting that they was wearing these shirts at. Talking about pay.
Fans are not holding back in response to Kelsey Plum's latest jab at Caitlin Clark. What started out as a joke swiftly escalated into a new round of criticism, with Caitlin continuing to rise above it all and Plum taking the brunt of it. Please leave a 100% positive comment if you support Caitlin Clark.
Team Clark, they didn't make it to the meeting either. Making a joke, trying to make the room lighter. Because they were hungover. That was the joke, yeah?
When Kelsey Plum brought up Caitlin Clark's name during a revisit to the All-Star Weekend event that was meant to focus on player togetherness, it all began anew. Team Clark was singled out by Plum during the Pay Us More t-shirt campaign for missing the last-minute meeting where the strategy was discussed.
It was a shot at Caitlin Clark, and everybody knows it, all right? Everybody knows that, and it was not needed. It was part of a long line of shots that Caitlin continues to take by mother effers in this league.
She made a joke about Caitlin's squad skipping because they were drunk, rather than maintaining a professional demeanor.
Back at the All-Star game, Sabrina Ionescu, who was on Team Caitlin Clark, she didn't appreciate this comment either. She was like, yeah, that really had to be said now, didn't it?
The issue is that remark wasn't a complete failure. It sounded like yet another jab at Caitlin Clark.
Players still, the gist of the meeting was that the players were going to wear those t-shirts. The players on Team Clark wore the t-shirts. Caitlin included. What difference does it make? None.
It was evident from Sabrina Ionescu's response. She was surprised, as though she couldn't believe Plum had actually spoken it aloud, as she sat just next to Plum. What started out as a humorous comment quickly became a widely shared dispute.
It was a shot at Caitlin Clark, and everybody knows it, and it was not needed. It was part of a long line of shots that Caitlin continues to take by mother effers in this league, and people are fed up with it. Her fans are fed up with it.
Supporters immediately pointed out that Caitlin did don the shirt and fully supported her teammates. Although Caitlin and her teammates were involved in the movement like everyone else, the alleged joke gave the wrong impression, giving the impression that they didn't care.
We're like, really? This league has been a total and utter and complete failure for 26 years until that girl came out of Iowa to play basketball in your league.
This is the reason why many people found Plum's remarks so annoying. She decided to criticize Clark's team in front of cameras rather than bolstering the message of togetherness, bringing Caitlin's name into unnecessary conflict.
Bad joke? Kelsey Dumb's the reason every player in the WNBA needs PR training. Plum is not very bright. Kelsey deserves all the negative remarks and comments she got. Person can't try to explain it or say sorry after the fact because it only looks like you got caught and you want to seem like you're sorry.
It appeared to be just another attempt by a seasoned player to undermine Caitlin's reputation in a league that is finally taking off because of her popularity.
Nothing to prepare these players for fame, popularity, a new adoring fan base in social media. They seem to trip in every situation. This was a avoidable, self-inflicted wound.
Kelsey Plum's remarks sparked an instantaneous and intense response. Instead of laughing with Plum's alleged joke, fans nationwide flocked to social media and ripped it apart.
We're like, really? This league has been a total and utter and complete failure for 26 years until that girl came out of Iowa to play basketball in your league.
In addition to being inappropriate, many believe the comment was another instance of seasoned athletes feeling intimidated by Caitlin Clark's growing power. Caitlin has accomplished more for the WNBA in a single season than the majority of players do in their whole careers, according to supporters.
The players on Team Collier, it didn't go down well at all. And you know what? Rightfully, it didn't go down well. It was not a great joke, lads. It was just not a great joke.
She is the reason that venues are finally selling out. TV ratings are at all-time highs, and ticket sales are shattering records. But instead of praising the improvements she has brought about, Plum decided to use sarcasm to single her out. Supporters didn't ignore that.
Glad to hear this clarification. However, it highlights the issue at the WBA, and Captain Engelbert did nothing to prepare these players for fame. Exactly, bro.
By disparaging Team Clark, they reminded everyone that Caitlyn and her teammates did wear the shirts and were demonstrating their support in the same manner as the rest of the league. Plum diverted attention from solidarity and made it into needless drama.
Why is she on Shada Clark? She's actually not. She's not, but it sounds like it is. And then people are like, oh, it just starts this whole dumb conversation again. Being like, oh, it's petty. Like, some people are like, oh, she's not. Everyone does have to be about Caitlyn. She literally said Team Caitlyn Clark. And that's their team name. It is an incredibly dumb.
Online, the criticism was harsh. Many accused Plum of attempting to capitalize on Caitlyn's reputation for attention, calling her spiteful, jealous, and unlikable.
You want to talk about the Team Clark comment and all that? Oh, I made a bad joke. Yeah, I made a really bad joke. Tough one. Well, let me set it up.
Yeah,
all
go ahead.
So basically, okay, so what I'm finding is like, and you just touched on a little bit, like players have personality.
The same idea kept coming up in remark after comment. The league would not even be nearly as well known without Caitlyn Clark. This explains why fans received such harsh criticism. Plum's remarks went beyond a crude joke. They served as a reminder of how Caitlyn is still the target of subtle jabs from well-established players.
Yeah, it was like a positive, fun all-star game, and you were trying to just make a joke. And it just got twisted.
What Plum believed would lighten the mood ultimately made her seem worse rather than help the athlete who has given the league its greatest moment in history. While Caitlyn's fan base became even louder and more unified in their defense of her, she lost the trust of many of them.
The more, if you say everyone, this is one of the things I always say in real life, or in real life, everyone says dumb shit. Sometimes you're in a position like I am where you might say dumb shit to tens of thousands of people.
Yes, you were attempting to make a joke, but it ended up getting twisted. It was like a lighthearted, enjoyable all-star game. Although Kelsey Plum attempted to retract her remarks by referring to them as a terrible joke, the harm had already been done. Her answer came across as little more than damage control, and the supporters didn't buy it.
At the end of the day, this is absolutely nothing. This has nothing to do with Caitlyn Clark. I think just the fact that the team was called Team Clark makes it seem like it's a shot at it.
The disparity, however, became glaringly obvious at this point. Caitlyn Clark, who has already established herself as the league's face, handled the issue with the same dignity and maturity as Plum, who was forced to defend herself. Caitlyn refrained from yelling. She didn't waste time exchanging jabs or getting sucked into the turmoil.
Where does this competitive piece come from? We already got 14. Oh no, I'm just playing hard. We want to blow them out. We're a lot better than them. I hate this.
Rather, she concentrated on her routine, allowing her grace and skill to do the talking. Caitlyn maintained her composure despite the tumultuous headline, even finding humor in it by praising Nike for the additional exposure. Her cool-headed, collected attitude demonstrated why she has such a strong bond with her admirers.
Caitlyn Clark team did not go to this little meeting that they was wearing these shirts at, talking about pay us more.
Moments like these highlight how different Caitlyn is from many of her detractors. She knows she's in the spotlight and makes good use of it, unlike some who are ready to make thoughtless comments. And for that reason, whenever she is singled out, supporters swarm to her defense.
Team Clark, they didn't make it to the meeting either. Just making a joke, trying to make the room lighter because they were hungover. That was the joke, yeah?
They see someone who stands out from the crowd and dignifiedly embodies the WNBA's future. IT has been stated by both fans and analysts. Caitlyn Clark is the reason the WNBA is at last prospering.
Look, it is what it is. This was something that went semi-viral during the All-Star break and was extremely relevant at that time. And, obviously humans are humans.
She has made the league a national discourse instead of a fringe sport. And it wasn't through small-minded insults or arguments on social media. It was made possible by her leadership, work ethic, and capacity to motivate millions of new admirers. Thus, when Kelsey Plum's remarks went viral for the wrong reasons, Caitlyn was untouchable once more. The supporters took care of it for her, so she didn't have to defend herself.
Yeah, it was like a positive, fun all-star game, and you were trying to just make a joke. And it just got twisted. And I should have, like, hindsight 2020, because of the shirts, because of the fans, like, I should have known it was a way more serious moment than a typical All-Star game.
Yeah.
Because I went into that press conference very like, happy-go-lucky, we won.
The most notable aspect of this is how Caitlin Clark sets an example for others to follow, even while she is the one being singled out. Caitlin might have been distracted from her game, or tension could have been raised by Kelsey Plum's remark.
Bad joke. Kelsey Dumb's the reason every player in the WNBA needs PR training. Plum is not very bright. Kelsey deserves all the negative remarks and comments she got. Person can't try to explain it or say sorry after the fact, because it only looks like you got caught and you want to.
However, she ignored it and continued to concentrate on her team on the court, where she should have been. Caitlin's freshman season has been like that. She reacts with poise and fortitude regardless of the amount of criticism she receives or the frequency of unfair targeting. She refuses to let the negative define her when the spotlight is shining brightest.
It looked like a blatant shot. All right. It was a blatant shot. And it was a serious moment because I think part of it too was people turned into the All-Star game.
She lets her play. Her professionalism and increasing impact are more powerful than words can express. Fans support her because of this. They witness the continuous gunfire directed at her, but they also witness her refusal to be pulled down. The disparity between her and those attempting to dim her light is always brought to light when she is targeted.
I'll say it once again, the WNBA sucks at PR. Laughing my ass off, this is all damage control, and she still manages to come off as unlikable and completely disingenuous. That, you know what? That was, whatever. She's annoying as F. Damn, she's dumb. I'm going to tell you what really came off from all that.
Caitlin is no longer merely a standout rookie. She is a representation of the fresh spirit reviving the WNBA. Caitlin's leadership keeps elevating her teams and the league's profile even when she isn't producing highlight reels or significant stats. She is untouchable because of that. Nothing can undo the influence she is currently having on women's basketball, not even a joke, criticism, or attack.